So I've got several lucid dreaming projects that I've been working on. I've been working on for the last 6-8 months, and they've been absolutely amazing. Some of this stuff, I mean, over the last 6 or 8 months, I've called different universities who have at one time done some research on lucid dreaming or whatever, and there's really not a lot out there. There's books. Articles. You can go on the internet and find all sorts of information on lucid dreaming, but really experimental data really isn't out there for anybody. There's some conclusions that people have come up with, but generally speaking, lucid dreaming isn't really something that's researched or put a lot of thought into. It's known, but not very many people really know about lucid dreaming. I mean, I didn't know about it until about 2 years ago. And it really opened up my eyes. It's so, I can't convey how wonderful it is to actually be able to lucid dream. And I wish that I could have done it way back when I was a kid. Because I think I could have used my lucid dreamings to reflect on things that happened in my life. And I've been able to use lucid dreaming to reflect on those things. But I want to talk about an experiment that I've been doing for a while, and it's been working out really well. When I'm lucid dreaming, or generally speaking, when somebody is having a lucid dream, they're obviously aware that they are dreaming. They're usually aware of where they're at, in their bed, on the couch, whatever location they're in. Sometimes they can feel themselves breathing. Sometimes they can hear themselves breathing. Sometimes they can actually move, areas of the body. Sometimes even talk. But one thing that I wanted to kind of experiment with was, could I take stimulus from the environment and have it pass through my dream and affect my dream in any way, or make me process the dream anyway, or whatever. And what I'm talking about is, how you might be sleeping on a couch, or the radio's going, or there's something out there and you're kind of dreaming about it. Let's just say, for example, the news is on. You fall asleep watching TV, the news is on. And somebody in your dream is talking, kind of like the reporter is, and you're just kind of standing there kind of listening, but you're watching this person talk. That's the outside environment kind of translating into your dream. And sometimes events can happen inside your dream that seemingly happen exactly at the same time that something happens outside your dream, like a sound or a smell or whatever. So I kind of wanted to go deeper with that and try to explore the possibilities of how can I use intentional stimuli to affect my dream. And I did a lot of different things. I would set my alarm at different intervals and see if that would affect my dream, using different sounds. I didn't use the same alarm noise. I would use like a brighter tone, pin drop, raindrops, things like that, anything so that it didn't actually necessarily wake me up, but I became aware of it. And doing that, I was several times while I was in a lucid dream, I was able to, while I was in my lucid dream, I would start hearing the raindrops. And at first it would translate into my dream as actually being rain down in my dream, and then I would think to myself, well, no, this is actually my alarm making this sound. So I become aware of it, and it would actually change my dream to where it would stay raining. And as much as I thought about not wanting it to rain, it would just kind of keep raining. And I don't know if that was because I didn't have the control, but it would affect my dream in that way. Well, after experiments like that, I actually went deeper into it. I thought to myself, what would happen if somebody were to come into the room quietly and whisper things into my ear while I was dreaming? Generally speaking, I'm a light sleeper, but I usually only wake up when there's kind of, it's hard to explain. It's like, okay, my alarm clock, I'm up. When my wife opens the door, something like that, I'm up. Certain sounds, certain things just kind of do it, but other things, they don't affect me whatsoever. So what I was having her do was, on the hour, every hour that I was sleeping, I would have her come in and I would have her whisper something, usually 2 sentences or so on, into my ear and then leave the room. And then I would wake up and I would either, yes, I heard that, or no, I didn't. And it, generally speaking, I would only hear it if I was lucid dreaming. That's why I had her come in every hour. Us two were kind of on opposite shifts, so it worked out pretty good. But what I had found when she was doing that is that she would almost appear, it was strange, she would almost appear into my dream. And she wrote something down at random. This wasn't something that I knew what she was going to say. It was completely random. It'd be something so random as, don't forget to take the library book back today because it's overdue by 3 days. Something like that. And then I would wake up and I would remember that. And I'd remember what she was, had said. And I would be aware of it during this dream. And it was weird because, it's hard to explain. I'm picturing the dream as like a timeline. And I start at a lucid dream, and I'm going, let's say, halfway through this dream. She enters the room and starts talking, okay? At that point, she appears in my dream as if she was really there. I can picture her face and her body and everything else standing there. And then she starts with the sentence, don't forget to. And what I had thought about, and it's really hard to explain, is that did she appear instantaneously and then started talking? Because in my dream, I knew the whole sentence all the way out, and it was coming out of her mouth. Was there a delay? Was it like my brain started processing it, then added it to my dream, and then kind of played it back, kind of like a recording? Because when you think about it, would it be instantaneous that suddenly she appeared and everything? I mean, how would I know that it was her? Because this was a whisper, so it wasn't like her voice or anything. So my theory is that I associated her whisper with her, obviously, shortly after, probably 1 or 2 words after. My brain had processed that, had stored that, created her image into my dream, and then began to play back as she was talking this whole thing. Another theory is that my brain remembered everything that she said and then actually projected her and then played it back. I mean, there's all sorts of different possibilities, and I'm still thinking about what it could be. But it really is amazing that, and it seems kind of stupid or unnecessary that anybody would go into this much trouble to try to figure out what exactly is going on as far as playback or how things are intercepted in your dream and things like that. But to me, it's fascinating. So I'm still going with that experiment whenever I can, and so far the way that's turned out is different stimulus are affecting me in different ways, and it seems almost instantaneously in my dream, yet it seems also impossible unless the brain is able to right then recognize who this person is and immediately project that image. Bam, you're on. So it's really hard to put into words. I've got notes written down of everything, and I'm trying to explain it to you. But it's an experiment that I'm still going with. It's something that you can try. See where you get with it. See what happens. But it's really interesting. So hopefully I'll get some use out of it. Maybe somebody else will. So that's kind of where I'm at.